This is your city, your government, your station, your news. This is Update News. In an effort to preserve jobs and maintain city services, two of the city's labor unions have agreed to accept a contract that forgoes pay increases for their members for fiscal year 2012. AFSCME Local 1102, which represents 192 clerical, technical, and supervisory employees, and Local 1102B, which represents 43 school crossing guards, negotiated with the city to retain all 232 positions in this year's budget. In addition to giving up pay raises, a Local 1102 also agrees to convert 3 traditional holidays to floating holidays and to increase personal contributions for health and dental care. The two unions had been working without a contract since June of 2010. Wilmington City Council has approved the contracts, and the agreement is part of the 2012 operating budget for the city. Community service was the theme for more than 50 organizations that took part in Wilmington's first Community Project Day. Hundreds of residents volunteered their time and energy to beautify areas throughout the city with community cleanups and landscaping efforts. Spearheaded by at-large Councilmember Bud Friel, along with the Clean Wilmington Committee and the Office of Mayor James Baker, the day gave neighborhood associations, businesses, and residents an opportunity to show the community spirit that thrives in Wilmington.
We tried to register as many groups as we could, civic associations, nonprofits, to kind of do a project in their area, in their neighborhood. It could be a cleanup project, it could be a landscaping project. Some groups just went door to door talking about their civic association. We had a couple groups that partnered with a nonprofit in their area and painted some of their building. We had another group that painted some playground equipment, things like that. So overall, we had 55 groups that participated in today's first annual Wilmington Community Project Day. So I think for a start, for the first one, that was a huge success.
Folks have been out all over the city of Wilmington, and the nicest thing that we've seen today is for the young people who have joined with some of the older folks here in the city to complete some of these projects. It is so important that we stress to our younger people here in Wilmington the meaning of community service, what it means to help your neighbors, and what it means to make your community a better place to live.
Event organizers plan on making Wilmington Community Project Day an annual event in the city. Wilmington recently elected a new mayor and a new council. Well, sort of. The annual Youth and City Government Day was held May 5th in the Lewis L. Redding City County Building. Over 30 students representing Bancroft Academy, St. Anne's School, Reach Academy for Girls, Servium Girls Academy, Albert H. Jones Elementary School, and Coomba Academy were elected to serve as the politicians and department heads that operate city government. Sponsored by the Department of Parks and Recreation, the program gives youth an opportunity to become better acquainted with city government and the responsibilities of being a community leader. This was the 32nd year that Wilmington has held a Youth in Government event. After years of struggle, Delaware now has a law giving committed same-sex couples rights equal to those of opposite-sex partners. Governor Jack Markell has signed into law Senate Bill 30, which makes civil unions legal for couples prohibited from marriage by reason of gender. The law was approved by the legislature in Dover last month. The adoption of the civil union bill was supported by Delaware's representation in Washington.
And I just wanted to send along my congratulations this evening as Governor Jack Markell signs Delaware's civil unions bill into law. This is a proud moment for all of us. It's an important step forward in the long trail towards real equality in Delaware, and it's something I was proud to support.
For decades, many of you here tonight and others throughout the state have fought simply to gain the same rights that other Delawareans enjoy. This legislation is a culmination of that effort. I want to share with you a quick story. Recently, I was sitting in the Democratic cloakroom off the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. A number of the members were gathered around a TV screen. They were watching Oprah Winfrey interview freedom riders from the civil rights movement, who this year are celebrating the 50th anniversary of that difficult struggle. As the stories of courage and commitment were told, I looked around the room and saw tears in the eyes of many of the members gathered, including Congressman John Lewis, a civil rights icon and one of the leaders of that movement. These were tears of joy and tears of pride, and I'm sure that there will be similar tears shed across Delaware today and in the days and months ahead with the signing of this legislation.
Wilmington Mayor James Baker said the issue was equality and doing what is right.
I'm very happy that the Civil Unions Bill passed. I think that it's important that it passed. I think that it has a lot to do with the equality and civil rights of all individuals. And I think that in the long run, we're going to all benefit from this bill being passed. And I really want to thank the governor for the actions that he took, and I would like to thank the General Assembly members for introducing this bill and working hard to get it passed, and then the community members throughout the state who also helped get this bill passed. And we should remember that equality is necessary for all individuals in a democracy and in a republic, and we can't play games with it and pretend that we are.
Civil unions are available only to couples of the same sex, and according to Delaware law, marriage will remain limited to opposite-sex couples. A civil union gives couples the same responsibilities, rights, and protections that currently exist for married same-sex spouses. The law takes effect on January 1st, 2012, making Delaware the 8th state to grant comprehensive rights to same-sex couples. After passing through Dover's Legislative Hall, Governor Markell has officially signed Senate Bill 17, the bill that legalizes the use of medical marijuana in Delaware. Although the process to dispense the drug will take a year to begin, it gives new hope to Delawareans suffering from cancer, AIDS, and other painful diseases. The new law makes Delaware the 16th state to decriminalize marijuana possession, use, and distribution for limited medical purposes, but the law is also one of the strictest in the nation. At the outset, there will be only one not-for-profit dispensary in each county, and residents will not be permitted to grow their own marijuana at home. Up to 6 ounces per month of the drug will be available to individuals who qualify to receive it. The law also requires patients to have exhausted all other medical remedies before being prescribed marijuana by a doctor with whom they have a bona fide patient-physician relationship. Also, patients must be 18 or older and are required to have a medical marijuana identification card with them while in possession of the drug. Restrictions are imposed regarding where marijuana can be possessed and consumed. Multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, and post-traumatic stress disorder are among the limited number of medical conditions that qualify for the program. Unlike other states, glaucoma, Crohn's disease, and the early stages of hepatitis C are not considered to be acceptable for medical marijuana use. Governor Markell released a statement saying, "We make clear that this would need to be very limited in scope and actively targeted to only Delawareans with profound and chronic illness like cancer and ALS. It is. This bill needed to be about giving targeted help to the most sick in a way that made most medical sense, and it is." A new emergency preparedness registry has become available for state residents. The registry allows Delawareans to enter information that is linked to a secure database that ties into the state's 911 system, making valuable information immediately accessible to 911 dispatchers.
Imagine firefighters arriving on the scene of a fire knowing someone is bedridden, in a wheelchair, on oxygen, or impacted by a heart condition, Alzheimer's, or autism. They'll know where they're located within a home or building and how to reach that person. The more information first responders have before they arrive, the faster and more focused their work can be, and the sooner they can help.
State and private agencies have been working together for 2 years developing the program, and Delaware is the only state to provide residents with this type of service. The Emergency Preparedness Registry can be found online at www.de911assist.delaware.gov. Celebrated filmmaker and historian Ken Burns came home to Delaware to receive the 2011 Delaware History Makers Award from the Delaware Historical Society. Burns, who spent his youth living in Newark, was awarded for his 30-year career documenting the events that shaped American history. He has produced films on topics ranging from the Civil War to baseball to America's national parks to jazz, and is widely considered to be America's premier documentary filmmaker.
History is that table around which we can still have a civil discourse. History is that table around which we can still find inspiration to solve the most difficult problems we have right now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, nothing that we experience right now in this incredibly complicated time is more difficult than chapters in our history that I've explored that are very similar and also very different in the fact that we have risen to the occasion time after time after time, that leaders do emerge, words are spoken in a country in which words matter, and that things can change, repairs are made, things are healed. And I come here tonight celebrating not only this extraordinary honor that you bestow on me, but the ability for us to remember and to continue to remember, no matter how hard or how personal those memories might be. That's what history actually is. It isn't the abstract subject, nor it is the once-a-year gathering to celebrate our good works, but our understanding of the great pageant of everything that has gone before this moment.
The Delaware History Makers Award recognizes living individuals who have made extraordinary and lasting contributions to the quality of life in Delaware, the nation, or the world.
We don't make history, actually, we receive it. It influences us. It touches our souls. We are moved by it. We transform it in some way. And so the permanent work of the Delaware Historical Society is what you reaffirm each night. The changing cast of characters who come and go, the honorees, are less important than the day-to-day work.
Wilmington City Council has approved an amendment that will allow property owners who are renovating abandoned and vacant properties an additional 12 months to sell or occupy the home. The one-time fee waiver takes the place of the previous extension, which was set at 90 days. The Vacant Property Registration Fee Program assesses an escalating fee on property owners who fail to keep their properties occupied and in good working condition. At-large Councilman Bud Friel introduced the amendment to help good property owners who are hampered in selling due to the nation's economic downturn. The one-time waiver fee is authorized by the city's Department of Licenses and Inspections, and it will allow owners time to complete necessary rehabilitation work and find a new owner or tenant. Home buyers who purchase a vacant property in Wilmington may qualify for financial assistance. The Home Buyer Assistance Program provides up to $10,000 for vacant homes bought in the 19801, 19802, and 19805 zip codes. Prospective buyers must meet the program's eligibility requirements, which include living in the home for 5 years and income limits. Funding for the Home Buyer Assistance Program is provided by the Federal Neighborhood Stabilization Program. More details can be found online or by calling the City of Wilmington's Department of Real Estate and Housing at 576-3000. Applications must be submitted by June 30th, 2011. Hoping to serve more of the 100,000 Delawareans without health care, the Henrietta Johnson Medical Center in Southbridge is expanding. However, instead of growing out, the growth is up. By adding a second floor to the existing building, the health center will be able to add more dental chairs and women's exam rooms. The upgrade will also create more parking space and enhance building security. Henrietta Johnson Medical Center served almost 7,000 patients in 2010, a majority of which live below the federal poverty line, and those numbers are expected to rise. The center's last expansion occurred in 1998. The new project is expected to cost nearly $4 million, with over half that amount already raised. An employment registration for youths interested in a summer job with the city is being held in June.
I have the 2011 pre-summer youth employment registration for all household income levels for youth age 14 to 20. The registration dates are Monday, June 6th, Tuesday, June 7th, Wednesday, June 8th, and Thursday, June 9th. The location is at the City of Wilmington Municipal Complex, 500 Wilmington Avenue, and its directions are I-495 to Terminal Avenue exit. Building is on the right, and it says the time is 5:30. No admittance after 8 o'clock. Only 200 registrations accepted per night. And here's what you need to bring. Photocopies of the required documents must be given to intake representatives. Copies will not be made on site. Registered documents are copies of the youth original signed Social Security card, clear copy of a photo ID, copy of family income statement, pay stub, tax form, SSI, etc., and proof of address, along with the copy of the birth certificates. Applicants will not be allowed to register if they do not bring all 5 required documents. And for further information, please contact Parks and Recreation Summer Youth Program at 576-3810, 576-3810.
That's the news for now. For everyone here at Update News, thanks for watching.